What's going on, everybody? It's Super Robot Ed, and we're going to do something a little different today. As you know, I am a toy collector beyond just Transformers. That's why the name of the channel is Super Robot Ed, because it's about robots, not just Transformers. And because of that, I don't really try to pigeonhole myself into just Transformers, because I like a whole lot of other stuff that deals with robots. I'm a big fan of Japanese mecha. And you're probably looking at this and going, that ain't Japanese mecha, but it is. So in America, this is known as the Storm Megazord. But in Japan, this is DX Senpuujin. I think I said that right. Hold on. No. Yeah. Senpuujin, which is, like a whirlwind or something like that. Senpuujin. So, it's like whirlwind, that's what it translates to. Now, this is the actual Japanese version of the figure. This came out in 2002, and the show Hurricanger ran from 2002 to 2003 in America, known as Ninja Storm, and it ran basically from 2003, and of course with repeats going into 2004. So, why the Japanese version? Well, because this thing is on the level of Chogokin. If you're familiar with Sentai in Japan, up until probably maybe Hurricanger, which is Dino Thunder, if I'm not mistaken, one of the dinos. It's called Dino something. Well, anyway, they kind of went all plastic, but the paint probably was a little better. But up until then, for the 25th anniversary, which is Hurricanger in America, that's Wild Force, they basically went Chogokin with those figures. Metal, high quality plastics, and the American versions were the same. The only difference was the Asian versions, they used plastic on the legs and legs and certain appendages instead of metal. And also, before we get into the Zord builder thing, Japan did the Zord builder thing first, because if you collect both Hurricanger Wild Force or Hurricanger Ninja Storm, the ports that they connect to are compatible, so the joint design was there. I know a lot of people always say, well, they did the thing in America. No, actually, they did it in Japan first with Sentai. So let's get that out of the way. So why buy this? What's so great about it? Well, this thing is heavy, but there's a caveat. If you buy, regardless whichever version you get, this is going to be the devil. So why? Well, apparently, and I've owned the original of this a long time ago. So actually my son did, my oldest son did. The clips on these will break when you clip this in, because without this isn't really much. The other thing is up here, when this part, there's extra plastic, and this is on both versions. Now mine is slightly discolored. You may not be able to see it. It's kind of faded, and I've actually reached out to the seller on that because this one looked like it's been sitting in the sun. And I don't know why. Like, this particular part looks sun-baked. Even up in here, it's very sun-baked. So, but I might keep it because of the fact that I love this thing so much. I might buy two. So, I'm happy because, I love this thing. I love the American version, but this, it's a little better. So we're going to start with the one that really gets on your nerves. It is known as the Dolphin Zord, or Hurricane Dolphin. Now, this is the Zord of the Blue Ranger, or Hurricane Blue, I think is what they call it. I'm not sure what they call him in Japan. This would be the Blue Ranger. Because I never really watched Hurricanger, but I have to. I can get it. I know where to get it from. Right off the bat, there is die cast. So that's the big difference, and the quality of the paint is different. So, like I say, on here it's going to show up as blue, but in other parts it's not going to show up as blue. So just keep that in mind. So let's go ahead, and this is the problem that a lot of people have, is taking this off. So I'm gonna give you a little trick to doing this. As soon as you buy this, because you're not gonna get this brand new. If you do, you're lucky. Even if you get this brand new, use some WD-40. And first things first, you'll notice that these clips here. Now you'll see on the other side Mine broke, and there's always the same one that breaks. Luckily, I was able to glue it, and I used a little bit of silver trim, but it's just, you know, it's forever scarred, I guess you could say, by that. So, but what does it do? This spins, so when you combine this with the DX Hurricanger or the Thunderzord, it, you know, makes it look like a Gatling gun and things of that nature. Now with the Japanese versions, they have more paint and there's more stuff on it. So you can see the symbol right there, which that is, I think, like a dull gold. This is gold, whereas on the, I think, American version, it's not. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course, this comes apart. And like I said, I know this thing is very discolored, so already alerted the seller on that. But you know, that's neither here nor there. It's a different quality feeling type of plastic. And the next one that we're gonna look at, we don't need this anymore, is gonna be the Yellow Lion or Hurricane Leon or the Lion Zord. Now, this is the heaviest piece. And if you didn't know, it's not just chrome. This is die cast. The inner thighs are die cast. This is plastic chrome, but this is die cast. So it's kind of like what they did with the Legacy Megazord. That was really just a regular Megazord that they released in 2010 with just some metal parts. But this goes a little bit further than that. The plastic quality is better. The paint is better. The head spins. It always looks like a Ferris wheel, but this thing is painted. Like, this will just be yellow plastic. This is actually painted. And this part, of course, the mouth opens and closes, and this is where the fist is. And it's heavy. His thing is, when you pick it up, there's a heft to it. Kind of does that a little bit, but the heft is just there. And then finally, we have I think this is the Hawk Zord or Hurricane Hawk in Japan. And the difference is, this is a lot of die cast. The die cast is here with the tail on the inner part here, and this is die cast. So a lot of this is die cast. This is metal. And of course, with the American version, this doesn't have all of the paint here. There's no paint there. There's no paint there, and there's no paint here. And also, there's no paint on this at all. So you got, along with the metal, you got more paint. And this is the box that it comes in. And as you can see here, we'll just look at the box real quick. It shows you the form that you get when I get Hurricanger, which I've not gotten yet. So, but it'll be here soon enough. I'm just going to show that off real quick. And, you know, but I do have the parts to make, I forget what it's called, but when we get to that point, I'll have the name. I'm kind of a little tired today. This is the box. This stuff on the side of the box. Like I say, the paint on this is exquisite. Even with the faded paint, it's still, you know, it's got a turquoise color now, which I'm okay with that. But I did alert the seller because I was not a little happy about that. And this is, they come in these little capsules. And of course, the capsule inside there basically turns into a sword. And that actually has more paint on it. It's not metal or anything, but it just has more paint. We're going to show that off. And then there's some of the other accessories here. And, you know, we will see this in the future. And we won't open this up until we get the DX Hurricanger, because they all go together with this guy. And you can see more of the form. And this one also I had used. So I got this from various sellers and things of that nature. But, you know, like I said, that's enough about that. Let's go ahead and transform this bad boy into the Megazord mode. It's very simple. So what are the first thing you want to do? Is you want to take the head off. Take this off. And now, because of the weight, these legs will collapse. So just keep that in mind. And you want to turn it this way. Why do you want to turn it this way? Because you have to push these in. Now, in the American version, like I said, this is plastic. It's plastic, but it's painted chrome. So you fold the feet down and fold them back. Same thing on the other side. And fold them back. Now you have to push these in, separate them first, and push that in and slide it all the way down. Push this in and slide all the way down. And when I say this is metal, this is cold touch, and the paint here is much better than the American version. This is way better quality paint. Then what you want to do up here at the top, I'm going to fold these back. And then after that, you want to fold these back again to reveal that port. You don't want to keep it on this port. Unfortunately, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to kind of sit there. So you got to back it up just a little bit. Let's see here. Yeah, it's just going to sit there. They just sit there. So don't get your panties in a bunch. Like I say, you can see it there. That's metal. And it does give them a nice solid weight. Now, next thing we're going to do is this. So again, when you get this, buy this used, whichever version you get, spray WD-40 here and WD-40 in here. There's a lot of plastic in here that should not be here, and it's you can't shave it off. It will snap off. But when you do, to transform him, make sure to fold these down. Because if you want to form this in a complete fashion, you better have this. Now it might be a little shiny because I still have a lot of WD-40 I gotta clean off, but you know, you just basically fold that back. You can hear it. See? And then pull this down as much as you can. And then pull this out. And that's pretty much the arm. Okay? You're gonna peg it on here. Oh Lord, now it's starting to do that. So gotta make sure you hold it. And that's it. You got the arm on. And with the lion, his head becomes the arm. Fold this out. Make sure that stays in place. The fist will open. And the only thing I'm also missing, and I've already discussed with the seller, it wasn't in the listing, so I'm not holding that against him. There is one of those rip rods that you would use to make this go, and you stick it in there. And, you know, you pull it, you know, makes it spin like those old timey toys back in the days, but I don't have that. So that would be the tail, and also used as a weapon for Senpuujin or the Power Stone Megazord. So, and you put this on, and just be warned, there's no articulation. There's no, you know some of y'all articulate. Articulate. Well, some things are just nice and simple. Think of this as a G1 toy. And then after that, you got the head, which is the Hawk Zord or Hurricane Hawk. And basically you just fold these in, fold these out, take this in the back, fold this up, fold that in. And you see that little black piece right there? Just fold that out, and you got the head. Now there's going to be 4 ports, and you probably can't see it, but there are 4 ports, and you put it on the back. And these scare me too. And boom, you got DX Senpuujin or the Ninja Storm Power Ninjas. Well, I don't even know what they call it. Power. Yeah, it's some Storm Power Zord. But this thing is heavy. This thing is heavy. When you combine all these parts, this thing feels like a Chogokin. I mean, it has the weight like a Chogokin. This stands at about 10 and almost 3/4 inches, going into 11 inches. And what's the next cool gimmick we're gonna look at before we go? So I'm gonna open this up, and a little ball comes out. And I had a hard time getting this thing to come out, so I just do like that, and it comes out. And this doesn't stay on its own. You have to do this. This is on both versions of the figure. And open this up. See a little ball right here. You know, that's another thing with Power Rangers. They love accessories. I have a lot of them. You haven't even gone into my Super Sentai stuff. This is basically Super Sentai. You just separate it right here, and you got this little, I always thought it was a spaceship. Now, I'm not sure. Like I said, I never really watched the show. I know my son has. But this is the sword. And basically what it does is you just kind of extend. And it's, some of y'all, you don't like that. Extend. And it's got more paint on it. It's got way more detail on it. And then, of course, you fold that down. And I'm not sure which hand you're supposed to put it in. But for the sake of, and I should have make these come out too, so you can have that. sword. You're going to put it in this hand. And boom. And what you can do with these, if you want, so you don't have a lot of stuff hanging around, just kind of open that up, put it back in if you want. That's your choice. And boom, there it is. Now, if you're a collector of these figures, which one should you get? Because we're going straight to final thoughts. There's not much. There's no articulation. See the arm just. Now you can do some waist swivel because of the transformation, so you can do like that, stuff like that. But it ain't doing too much more. It just ain't doing it. So you can do that, and of course, that's what you can do. So should you pick this up? The answer to the question is, how much you willing to spend? So to be honest with you, you're going to spend about anywhere between $100 and $200. If you buy the American version, just know you're going to have the same issues, but it's not going to be as heavy. It's not going to have that weight. And for the price that you'll spend for the American version, I wouldn't lie, I'd just get the Japanese version because that got all the weight. And yes, you have been warned here. Make sure you hit the blue dolphin with WD-40, because if you don't, it's going to break. And if you're not good at gluing, you just might as well go ahead and buy a new one. So I was able to fix mine. Like I said, I forgot to check that, so I'm not blaming the seller. That was me. I knew about the issue with the blue Zord. It's an issue, and I think the plastic's worse on the American version from what I hear. But when I had mine, it didn't break. I don't know, but over time, you're talking about toys. These toys are now officially 19, 20 years old. Eventually, parts are gonna, mess up or just get, static. It's over time. This is a different type of plastic. And with that being said, that's what happens. So I still love this. This is one of my favorites. Some people don't like this design. This is absolutely one of my favorites. But the first time of getting this with the metal thing, it's like, man, it just makes my day. So the next video we'll do in this series is going to be the DX Hurricanger, which is the Thunder Megazord from the same series, which, those two ranges are my favorite. I mean, I don't even know nothing about them. I'm not going to explain how I know about them, but they're just my favorite. And like I said, there's a few things, the caveats you get to deal with is paint on the red Zord will kind of over time flake off. So if you got like a Gundam marker, you can kind of fix that. It's not going to be perfect, but you can. These type of figures, when you start to get to older figures like this, they take a lot of time and care. You have to understand. It's like we buy a G1 figure. It's a whole different type of plastic and metal. So over time, you're going to have to deal with that. But I don't want to make this video too much longer. I'm probably going to edit a lot of stuff out. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites. If you, like I said, get any version, you're going to be fine. But if you want that extra heft, go for the Sentai version. It's Super Robot Ed with more videos coming down the pipe. We'll see you soon. Until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.